everybody, this is Diane. Hello, and welcome to yet another delayed episode of Biters.
Yeah, and I don't even have anything smart to say about that.
Oh my god. You know what? You've offered to edit. I've said no, because I'm a control freak, and I can't let go of it, and then my life is really insanely busy because of my personal life, and my professional life, and my personal life. And, you know, it's my fault. I take responsibility.
You can totally give me editing like mid-June through early September, because that'll be the craziest time of my life.
Oh, so then it will be completely delayed and I can blame it on you.
Right. Exactly.
Okay, that sounds like a great idea.
Yeah.
I'll be in the middle of moving at that point probably, so...
Yeah,
so we'll both be crazy.
Well, again, you better save the weekend of June 17th, which is a Thursday, but 8 episodes of Black Summer released.
Oh my god. So I made Sweet Boyfriend watch the first episode of Black Summer with me today.
Amazing. What do you think?
He actually liked it. Okay, everyone, don't hate on my boyfriend. He liked it a lot better than he liked The Walking Dead because he liked the fast zombies. It was totally the fast zombies thing. And he was like, it was much more suspenseful. And I was like, well, you know, the thing about The Walking Dead is it's how society falls apart in a crisis. And the zombies just happen to be the crisis. Black Summer is the zombies are the zombies, you know?
Yeah.
So I don't know if he'll watch the rest of it by himself or if we'll watch more of it together. But I did tell him that season 2 was dropping here pretty shortly. So... yeah, don't hate on my boyfriend, Biters. If you do, I will be really mad. Thomas Omar, I'm talking to you.
Hey, some people, it takes a little time for them to get into it.
Yeah. Well, I did also tell him, I was like, look, just because you see Z Nation come up as a match, do not get fooled into watching Z Nation.
No.
Like, it's by the same producers, it's set in the same universe, do not get fooled. Don't do it.
Yeah, no.
Oh my god. All right. So we've established that both of our lives are crazy. Both of our lives are going to be crazy this summer. But we do have Black Summer season 2 coming out this summer. And, yeah, I don't know, you guys. I really hope that yours truly gets it together for Biters and Real Housewives, but it's not looking good right now. And I'm sorry. Phil actually said, hey, friend of Phil, he didn't tell me your name, but Phil actually said that there was a friend of his who listens to Biters pretty faithfully who was like, what's going on with the housewives and why aren't they podcasting? So, hey, friend of Phil, we're back.
Hi,
we appreciate you listening. And I'll try to be better. Phil, do you want another editing job? Because you don't do enough podcasts. All right, so we are talking about Fear the Walking Dead, Season 6, Episode 14, the episode entitled Mother. I think you rated first last time.
I did.
You did, so Marn, I'm sorry, I'm going to rate it really low again.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not rating it horribly low. It's not like I'm giving it a 1, but I gave it a 3.21 Psycho ripoffs out of 5.
Okay, I did not rate it much higher than you did.
Okay, that surprises me.
And really, the episode wasn't bad. I had my issues with it, but I mean, they were kind of all the same issues that I've had before, and they're minor. It's like, and what really helped bring this episode up is because it was an Alicia-centric episode. So
Steve.
I gave it a 3.5 Patterns of the Universe.
Okay. So you didn't love it.
No, I didn't love it, but I also didn't hate it. So here we are.
Okay, well... yeah. I don't know. I don't know what to say.
Comicbook.com does have an article out that talks about how they've done a complete 180, that last season was a total stinker, and this season's been the highest rated of them all.
Oh my god, are you kidding me?
No. I'm like, you know what? Like, seasons 1 and 2 were better. Like, how can this be the highest rated?
I agree. And I never thought I would say that because I remember, I remember really liking season 1, and then I remember kind of being like, what are they doing with this show? And as we talked last time, I was like, I'm kind of in a place where I'd be happy to have that version of Fear back again.
Yeah. Yeah. But, there was that one point where we were just like, they could literally reboot this entire thing with a fully new cast and turn it around. Like, just kill everyone off. Yep.
And they tried, but you don't do it with a bunch of 9-year-olds who are nuclear physicists.
And they can build planes.
Right. But they're going to fix everything just in time for the submarine. Although we haven't talked about the kids at all. We haven't seen the kids in ages. What's going on with the kids?
I don't know. I mean, it's like I said, I said babies are easy to disappear on a show, but kids are kind of the same way. Yeah. They're definitely haven't been a priority of anybody's. They haven't really kind of grown up to the point that they're like Charlie and they go out on missions or anything. So yeah, I don't know what happened to the kids.
Or they're like Dakota and they go out on missions.
Yeah,
we'll get into that.
Yeah.
All right. And we're firmly in rotting potpourri already. So I have numbers for this episode. So it had 0.94 million same-day views, which was down from the previous episode that had 1.09 million same-day views. I'm going to be generous and say I'm wondering if maybe because we didn't have an episode this week because of the holiday, that maybe people were kind of saving this, and that's why there were fewer same-day views. I'm being generous.
Maybe.
Yeah. It has an 8.3 on IMDb, which just goes to your theory that somebody is paying off somebody at IMDb. Because I don't get it.
Yeah, me either. Although they kind of agreed with us on In Dreams, because that sunk to a 6.3.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah.
But I was like, really? In Dreams is lower than this?
Yeah, I mean the only other lowest rated episode is Handle with Care. Everything else at 7.6. Everything else this season has over an 8.
And
so,
I'm not feeling it. The John Dory death episode, The Door, that I was feeling, but yeah, only probably because we lost a major character and it was a huge blow. I mean, they only killed off one of the best characters on the series.
Yeah.
All right. Title. So I felt like it was pretty obvious, but there were 3 mothers that were referenced. So Madison, obviously Teddy's mother, and then Virginia. Ginny. Yeah. Did you feel like there was anything that we missed in terms of the title?
No, I think this was, since this is a Madison-centric episode, this was a...
Or you mean Alicia-centric?
Our Alicia-centric episode, this is going to be a Madison-centric kind of mother. Yeah, we have Teddy's whole Norman Batesy thing with his mother going on, but I think because we ran into Cole and his group, I think really this was kind of a very hey everybody, do you remember this lady named Madison?
Right.
Because we're totally gonna bring her back.
So there's
all Paul Tassi thinks.
Yeah, right. Well, Paul Tassi wasn't the only one, because there wasn't a lot in news, but there was definitely 3 or 4 articles that were like, they're teasing bringing Madison back, or are they?
Mm-hmm.
So. All right.
I don't know. I don't hate the idea.
Well, I really couldn't be more frustrated or annoyed with this series than I already am, so bring it. Which is a horrible thing to say. I'm sorry, Thomas, but here we are. All right, so our writers were Channing Powell and Alex Delisle. I'm not going to belabor them. I do just want to point out again that Channing Powell did 3 of the best episodes of season 4. I'm kind of feeling like I need to go back and watch season 4 of the original series, Internment, Inmates, and Slabtown. Alex Delisle has only written for Fear, and then she did a short called Puppy Dreams. And she is actually a writer of 6 episodes of Fear the Walking Dead. And I looked back through and she's a staff writer on like tons. And I looked back through the 6 that she's written, and I thought, none of those really like did anything for me. I'm not like looking back at them going, oh, that was a great episode of Fear.
Yeah.
So I'm a horrible human. Our director is a woman named Janice Cook, and this is actually her first effort directing in the Walking Dead universe. But she has 50 director credits. She has done a ton of stuff, right down to working in electric and camera on Val Kilmer's 1985 movie Real Genius.
Oh my goodness.
I know, right? So
I love that movie.
Her first directorial credit was a Dawson's Creek episode, and she has done everything from that to Charmed to America's Most Wanted to Pretty Little Liars to Cold Case, Grimm, How to Get Away with Murder. She's done a ton of stuff.
She has, man.
There was not really anything particular about her in terms of her personal stuff, so I don't really have anything to say about, oh, you know, she was born in New York and, you know, went to school here or there, but boy, she has done a lot of stuff in terms of directing.
You know, she has definitely worked with a lot of angsty young women. 90210, One Tree Hill, Gossip Girl, like you said, Pretty Little Liars. Heart of Dixie, like, yeah,
Charmed.
Charmed, yeah,
which is one of my favorites. And there's the whole Norman Reedus crossover with Charmed, because he had an arc in Charmed that was kind of fun.
He did.
So,
God, that's one I might have to go back and watch.
You know, I really enjoyed that. I watched it long after it was finished, and I kind of did a big binge of it and really loved it. So I don't know that I would dedicate the time right now just because my life is too nuts, as we've established a million times over, but it was fun.
And when I say watched, I mean watched like I was watching a show today. I was rewatching The Magicians for the umpteenth million time today. Well, I was formatting spreadsheets. So,
gosh, that sounds fun.
Oh.
I told you what I was doing earlier. I'm not going to say it on the podcast, so.
Your day was a lot funner than mine.
My day has been up and down, but my day was generally quite good. So, all right. So our featured cast. There was not tons about our featured cast.
No, there wasn't. So we decided to do Cole because, of course, when you kill a character, we're kind of obligated to have them as a featured cast member.
Well, and there wasn't really anybody new to talk about. Wasn't. I guess we haven't talked about the guy who plays Riley, or have we? I don't think we have.
I don't think we have yet, no.
But maybe we'll do him next week.
I've, talked about Nick Stahl a lot, but I don't think we actually have done him a featured cast member. But so this week is Sebastian, and I want to say Sozi.
I would say that, yeah.
Okay. So if you look for him on Twitter, his Twitter account has been abandoned for 7 years now.
Oh my gosh.
His Facebook account's only been abandoned for 6 years. And he posts on Instagram more often than me, which is not saying much because he only posts on it once or twice a year.
Wow.
So really, really not a lot out there about Sebastian, other than what is on his IMDb profile. So he's actually been in quite a bit. A lot of things that I recognize, but I haven't seen. The movie Half Nelson. He was in 2 Law and Order Criminal Intents. The movie Choke, which I recognize, but I have also not seen. He was in, like 4 Law and Orders. And then he had a reoccurring character on Blue Bloods. He played Vinny Cruz. He was a uniformed officer. He was in 13 episodes around season 4. And then he was in Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice.
Okay, I'm going to tell you, I totally had Snyder Cut trauma when I saw that. I can't let it go. Sorry, I can't let it go. I was totally like, oh god, no more DC Snyder Cut.
And what's funny is like when I clicked on his profile and I saw 6 episodes of Fear the Walking Dead, like my brain just totally blanked out, and I was like, wait, no, he died this episode. He's not in 5 more episodes. No, he was in 5 episodes.
That's so funny.
Way back 2 seasons ago. So he is 38 years old. He was born on September 14th in New York. And really, that is all that is out there about Sebastian.
I have a tiny bit more, which is that his first on-screen role was actually, Koba found her toy, was actually a Law & Order episode. So his first on-screen role was Law & Order in 2001, and you mentioned that he had 4 episodes, and he had a different character in each Law & Order episode.
Oh, that's funny. So I can't remember. I think it was an Instagram post that read he had a hashtag typecasted, and he was playing like a young Latina thug that's in an interrogation room. So I think he gets typecast a lot. But it was funny clicking on his the images for his profile for Blue Bloods. I would have never recognized him. He looks so different in the show Blue Bloods. Yeah. And, Blue Bloods is one that I'm surprised that I never watched because it's, a cop drama. So.
Oh, I would have assumed from the name that it was something, like about rich people. Honestly, I would have.
It could have a lot of rich people in them, but no, it has Tom Selleck. Tom Selleck and Donnie Wahlberg are the 2 kind of main male cast member stars.
Huh.
Yeah, 235 episodes, so nothing to sneeze at.
No, definitely not.
Yeah. But, yeah, there really isn't much out there on Sebastian. The most recent thing he has, besides this episode of Fear the Walking Dead, was an episode of NCIS in 2020. So, yeah.
I do want to say, just briefly, so the movie Choke is based on a Chuck Palahniuk book. And I have never read that particular book. I have not seen that particular movie. But I will tell you, one of the most horrifying collections of short stories I've ever read, called Haunted, was by Chuck Palahniuk. And one of the best novels I've ever read was Rant, which is by Chuck Palahniuk. And of course, everybody knows Fight Club.
Right.
So.
Right. Interesting.
Yeah. So definitely what I have read and seen of Chuck Palahniuk's I have enjoyed very much. So one of these days I need to watch Choke.
So, did you read the synopsis for the movie Choke?
I want to say that it's like someone who pretends to be a choking victim or something like that.
Yes.
Yes.
So a sex-addicted con man pays his mother's hospital bills by playing on the sympathies of those who rescue him from choking to death. Huh.
That is a classic Chuck Palahniuk kind of story.
Yeah.
He has a pretty twisted mind. Yeah.
Interesting. So that's all I got for featured cast member.
Well, I don't have anything beyond that because, again, there wasn't very much out there. And I didn't do an extensive internet search, but I looked for a Wikipedia page. I looked at some of the wiki pages that went along with the other fandoms. Like the... Oh, go ahead.
I did go back in his Facebook profile, and he was a Bernie supporter.
Oh, well, you and I would say good for him. I know there are people who listen to Biters who would not agree, but...
I think they would accept Bernie over some other people, but that's about as far as it goes.
Let's not go there, right?
Yeah. So his Instagram handle is Sebastian Sozi, and he does have some really cool behind the scenes photos of his time on Fear the Walking Dead.
Oh, that's cool. There's not much in Whisperer's Corner. So we talked a little bit before we logged on. There was an article that Eric Kane wrote, and he basically hated this episode. He opens with the line, "Fear the Walking Dead sort of finds new ways every week to lose the thread." And he makes snarky comments about the magical walkie-talkie that Alicia tries to use and manages to raise Strand on.
Of course.
And pretty much, I mean, I didn't write down everything that he said, but he pretty much panned this episode of Fear. And I've got to say, I was much more in line with him than I was with Paul Tassi, who wrote an article for this episode as well. And he loved it.
Yeah, I don't want to say. Oh, did he say he loved it in the beginning?
Okay, loved is probably strong, but he really did. I mean, he said this episode was a good one. He liked the dynamic between Teddy and Alicia. He called Alicia Dedmon Carey magic and said that the episode was compelling. I am using his language, magic and compelling. And his theory... I mean,
Alicia Dedmon Carey is magic. I'm just saying.
I don't see it.
He was a fan of The 100 when she was on that. So I think that's where that comes from, because that's where it comes from me, is I will always see her as Lexa from
I don't think that's where it comes from for Steve. Steve, where does it come from? I shouldn't be so mean. He could give me major grief right back. So
but I'm just as a big fangirl of Alicia he's of her, so
for different reasons, I think.
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, really?
Yeah, I like her. Yeah.
So, the other thing I will say about the Paul Tassi article, and then there's really nothing else to say in news, is that he really feels like the show should either kill Morgan off or get him back on the main show. And that they should bring Madison back and give the reins back to the Clark family.
So they're not going to be able to put him back on the main show because it's kind of been pointed out, and I don't feel like they're so far behind Walking Dead Prime, but people have pointed out that they are a few years behind, and I don't know, I haven't sat down and done that math, but so they couldn't have, I mean, unless they I don't know, decided to jump Morgan forward in time and bring him back to Alexandria for season 11. I can't see them doing that. But what they could do is they could have Morgan, and if they don't kill Grace, but probably just Morgan, kind of go his own way at the end of the season, and then we could pick him back up in the Daryl and Carol universe.
Oh, interesting idea.
I mean, because I would think that they may pass through Texas on their way to New Mexico, which is where they talked about going.
Right.
So.
Very interesting idea.
And then Alicia can have the show all to herself.
Or they could bring Madison back, and they could totally give the reins back to the Clark family.
Mother.
Mother. All right. Do you have anything for Housewives other than what we have already said about our summers being nuts?
Nope.
Nope. Other than the editor for Biters and the Real Housewives of Alaska just sucks. And, hopefully that editor will get things in the bag tomorrow, because it's not going to happen tonight.
Yeah, you have an extra day off.
We
are podcasting on Monday, Memorial Day. So
I have a lot to do tomorrow, but I do have an extra day off. So
yeah,
I get to fill out divorce paperwork tomorrow. That's fun.
I think I would rather edit.
Do not make me snort Diet Coke out of my nose.
I guess you could say filling out divorce papers is editing.
Ooh, that's brutal. Oh, well done, but brutal.
I'm a terrible person. I know.
Yeah, but you're a terrible person related to another terrible person, so.
Well, and I'm funny, so that kind of makes up for being a terrible person.
You know, I'd like to think I'm funny, but you're definitely funnier. So.
I mean, I could always be like, just kidding. You don't know.
Right.
All right.
So, I guess I get to go first with the goods, bads, and uglies.
I think you do.
So, my good, and I actually struggled to find one, but I decided that my good was actually the hard left turn of Dakota choosing Teddy.
Yeah. I kind of saw it coming.
I definitely saw that they had a connection and she was kind of fascinated with him, but I wasn't like, she's going to pull a gun on Alicia and tell Alicia to suck it up. No, I didn't see that coming.
With her little sociopathic, I don't feel guilty about it. And Teddy being so encouraging about her not feeling guilty about killing people, I was like, oh yeah, she found her people.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
She is definitely a little monster.
Oh, man. And what is with Alicia attracting unstable young girls?
I don't know, but apparently she's got a whole stable of them now.
And only a 50% success rate. So, I mean...
Well, and the one that she had success with did kill her brother, so...
Exactly, you know, like... You'd think she'd be better at this.
Although we do have that whole passel of children that we were just talking about earlier. I mean, maybe she had some success with them.
Maybe. Who knows? Yeah, maybe she got them all, get them on their own feet, and now they're like, you know, I don't know. What did we do? Did we burn down the blue jean factory? Maybe they're there making blue jeans. Or walkie-talkies.
Walkie-talkies! And batteries.
Magic walkie-talkies.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, what's your good?
My good actually is Teddy. So I was very, very happy to see that he is a tried and true cult leader, dyed in the wool. He is not in it to sleep with all of the female members of his cult, especially those who are underage. He is not in it for money. He is willing to die for his cause, and he's a true believer. Like, he actually believes what he says needs to happen, will happen, like, is supposed to happen, you know, the patterns of the universe and all. That, like, you know, if you're gonna be a cult leader, don't be a cynical cult leader. Like, don't be in it for the money and the young girls. Be in it for the, you know, destroying the world to save it.
Oh my God, you are so funny.
You know, there's just a certain kind of crazy that works, and Dakota's kind of crazy does not work, but Teddy's does, you know?
We each have to have the things that appeal to us. So,
exactly.
Good for you.
And maybe it's just the way that Glover is playing it, you know, that I just kind of love the crazy old guy.
All right. I was going to save it for my writing potpourri, but now I'm going to say it. I don't like it. I don't like the way Glover's playing it. I don't like the sing-songy voice. I don't like it.
I love it because it is like at the beginning of the episode when he has the tape that plays over and over and over, and he's just trying to break people down, which is what cults do in the beginning. They break you down. They break down your identity in order to instill, you know, the identity that you're going to rely on in the cult. Yeah, it works. So far, it hasn't worked on Alicia, but it works for me.
That's funny.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I would have shot him by now. I'd have been like, obviously, Riley knows what's up, so we're going to try and get the information out of him, because Teddy is too much of a true believer. So when they were walking along with Cole's people, and he poked at them just a little bit too much, and everyone turned their guns on Teddy, like, he didn't back down at all. He was just totally ready to die. Like, the plan doesn't need me. So, like, you're not going to get anything out of him. You're not going to be able to torture anything out of him. He's smart. He's going to play it right. I honestly think you could probably torture the information out of his underlings. So I would have shot Teddy by now. But I like him.
Well, I know what kind of cult leader you're going to fall for or follow.
I don't think I would ever fall for a cult. And of course, the people who always say that are the people who, like, fall for a cult. But, like, I watch all of these, like the NXIVM cult and Scientology and, like, Heaven's Gate. I watch all the documentaries on those, and I'm like, how did you people fall for this? I mean, I get it. Cults pick out people in their biggest time of need, and they make themselves out to be whatever that person needs at that time, and then they break the person down to build them back up in the cult. And yeah, I get it. I get how cults work, but I don't think I'd fall for one. I don't believe in it enough.
Yeah, I hope I wouldn't, but, I mean, you're right. People always say, I would never fall for a cult, and then they find themselves forking over hundreds of thousands of dollars to L. Ron Hubbard's Hail Zenu church, and...
or branding themselves and sleeping with the leader,
Yeah, I haven't watched that yet.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, I'm not sure I need that in my head right now.
I have listened to all of the podcasts. I have watched all of the Datelines. I have seen all of the HBO documentaries.
Of course you have.
I have.
We're talking about the NXIVM cult, right?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
All right.
So what was your bad?
Don't hate on me, Thomas O'Mara. The Zeds, the zombies, and the mother corpse. Where is Greg Nicotero? What have they done with him? Have they locked him under glass like Teddy did Alicia? What's going on? Where are our special effects? Because the special effects in this episode were terrible.
I have to say that I did not notice.
I think I'm longing for the days of season 1 and season 2 of the main series. I was thinking about it tonight, and there were such good special effects, and they were so new. I mean, Bicycle Girl. The zombie that's walking along that Rick hails as, thinking that it's a perfectly normal human, and then Morgan appears out of nowhere and shoots it. All of the tribute zombies that Greg Nicotero did in the early seasons, there was such good special effects, and I just, I know that they've got Greg Nicotero down as, like, the special effects supervisor for this series, but I'm just not seeing it.
So I kind of think it's one of those things where, because we saw it with A World Beyond, they did a bunch of really amazing
Now, they had some
zombies.
good zombies. They did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, some really creative zombies. And they had to get creative because we knew that we were, at least 10 years in, or more. I can't remember now. I feel like it was more than 10 years. But they couldn't just be regular old zombies. They had to be zombies that had, been out in the elements for 10 years. But I kind of feel like it's kind of the way that we feel, where this isn't a zombie show. This is a soap opera that happens to have zombies in it. Mm-hmm. And so after a couple of seasons, they stopped focusing on, aside from maybe one or two really cool ones as a season, they stopped focusing on just the day-to-day walkers that are around that we, stab in the head with pens because
because we're smart
easy.
enough to realize that that's how they get killed.
Well, I'm just saying that if we're like, okay, we can stab zombies in the head, but I would think it would be only after they've been a zombie for a really long time and like maybe their stuff is breaking down. But that was a super fresh zombie to be stabbing in the head. I mean, not that I've ever tried to stab anyone in the head with a pen, but I would imagine it would be a lot harder than it looked. Go for the ear. Go for the eye socket.
Right. And it was a fresh zombie, too. I mean, if you think about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that skull was still hard. It wasn't squishy like, you know, the zombies who'd been around for a decade.
Exactly. So, yeah, I didn't notice there. The only zombie that I do have to say that I really took note of was the one that had, you could see straight through it. It had the hole in it.
Right. Yeah.
And it
I was like,
takes me back.
so I was watching that I was watching it on my Kindle, and I'm like, am I seeing that right?
It always takes me back to like the early 2000s. Like it was like right when iPads came out that somebody did that for Halloween. They did an iPad with had a front facing camera. And they put it on the front of them, and they had a iPad with a front-facing camera on the back, taped to the back of them, and so it looked like a hole in their shirt because it was constantly like showing you the other side of the person. Like it was really, really well done for the early 2000s for a guy who just bought 2 iPads for his Halloween costume. So it always takes me back to that every time I see like Death Becomes Her or zombies with holes in them. Like, if you can see straight through it, it always reminds me of that really creative dude back in the early 2000s who won Halloween.
Funny. Very funny. All right, what was your bad?
My bad, we've actually kind of talked about it. Dakota is a little psychopath. Like, when she got off the bus, like 2 things went through my mind as I was like, okay, either Morgan did legitimately like just kick her out and be like, no, you shouldn't be around people, youngin', go. Mm-hmm. Or she was on a secret agent-y mission. And when Alicia was like, Dakota, I was like, oh my God, don't yell out her real name. What if she told them her name was like, I don't know, Sue. For Sioux Falls.
Right.
But I was just like, I didn't have a good feeling when she showed up either way. You know, she either had legitimately joined up with Teddy's cult, or she was trying to be all secret agency, but she's man, you know, and I would not put it past her to totally double cross Teddy and kill Teddy. I mean, wherever this girl goes, death follows. So I mean, I don't think it's maybe going to be a bad thing that, you know, she's there, because she might kill Teddy or several other people. But I just am like, yeah, we should have killed her a while ago. Just for our own safety.
I have a feeling that this is going to be the end of Dakota. I don't think she's going to make it past this season. I could be wrong, but I don't think she will.
With the way they're hyping up the last 2 episodes, I think we might see quite a few deaths this season.
Yeah, we always think that.
I think they are totally going to thin the herd. Yeah, that's true.
They never thin the herd.
Unless you're talking about, like, awesome characters like John Dory.
Right.
Yeah. So that was my bad, is I'm a little over Dakota. Like, I have been for a while. Yeah.
Well, my ugly was a bad ugly, of course.
Of course.
And it was the whole Alicia locked away to rebuild the world. Okay, there is nothing that I've seen in the 2 episodes with Teddy that really shows me what he sees in Alicia. There's nothing that shows me what he sees in Alicia that she's got the ability to rebuild the world and she's going to be the queen bee who repopulates. So I don't get it. I don't see it. I mean, he did make the comment about how she reminds him of his mother, but that was about it.
The only thing I can think that he sees in Alicia that she will be able to rebuild the world is she's such a fighter and she's such a survivor. You know, she's so strong that if anybody is going to get people through a, you know, nuclear fallout where nobody can leave the bunker, you know, she's going to be the one to make the hard decisions. So very big spoiler alert if you have not watched The 100 and you are planning on it. Of course, her character doesn't survive the entire show because the show is like quite a few seasons long. But in much, much later episodes, they do go through another time where they have to be locked away in a bunker. And it comes down to cannibalism to survive. And I think Alicia would make that hard decision. You know?
I think you're saying that as a fan of Alicia.
I am.
Yeah.
Both Alicia Debney Carey and Alicia on the show.
Yeah,
like,
I haven't been into that character since probably season 2.
Yeah. I've always loved her. There was even a time I was very, very mad at Madison for neglecting her over.
Yes, I remember having that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Yep. So my ugly kind of was neither good or bad. When we miraculously came across Cole, I'm over that. Like, fine, we have magic radios and like people we know just appear out of nowhere. I mean, I get it. They were close to the stadium, but people didn't stick close to the stadium. They spread out after they couldn't find each other after a while. And I just, to have him and all of the others hanging around. Anyway, so I actually kind of like originally I felt like he was a plant by Teddy. I thought maybe Cole was one of the, what are we calling them? The believers?
Mm-hmm.
The enders, whatever we're calling them. I kind of felt like he and his stock were, had turned to Teddy's group. And because he was at one, I mean, it was really coincidental that they're driving down this road and all of a sudden they hit a spike strip that flattens all 4 of their tires. And a guy comes out of nowhere and, oh my gosh, we know him. You know? And so I was like, that's suspicious. And then he's totally prodding Alicia about, well, what's this Teddy guy about? Like, what are you doing? Hey, would you like to join us? You know, like, I felt like that Cole was testing Alicia on Teddy's behalf. So I totally got this vibe that, like, Cole was part of Teddy's plan. And, you know, even right there towards the end when everyone was dying, I was just like, you know, these people are totally willing to die for what they believe in. Like, this could have been a suicide mission for the greater good. Like, I was convinced that Cole and his people were a plant by Teddy because it was just all so coincidental that Teddy was able to parlay this whole side mission into, look how right I am about people and how they should die because none of them are good anymore. And what we're doing is what's best. You know, I don't know. I almost still feel that way. I almost feel like, you know, like she'll find some of Cole's belongings or something in with the cults, the cult people. Like, I just feel like Cole was a plant. I guess I had a hard time believing it was all that coincidental. Yeah. So that probably takes us directly into Rotting Potpourri. And speaking of coincidental,
yes.
What are the odds we are going to find 4 tires on rims that are good
oh
in
my God,
some
that's
rando
so funny.
shop, you know, that fit whatever that was, a 69 Ford Ranger or whatever?
That is so funny. Oh my God.
What are the odds? I mean, it's like putting together an entire airplane and not having any parts left over. I can't even do that with my toaster. That's not true. I'm very handy around the house. I actually like totally tore apart my weed eater and fixed it last year and put it back together, and it works just fine.
You know, you're more skilled than I am.
YouTube for the win.
YouTube for the win.
Anything else?
So I definitely liked some of the Teddy in the prison stuff.
Yeah.
I definitely liked the whole scene of the inmate walking back from the death chamber as a zombie with like the IV in his hand, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I love to think that that's how the outbreak started in a prison. It started with, the guy on death row getting killed and then killing everybody, all the guards from death row.
That's horrible. It's funny, but it's horrible.
It's kind of like but I mean, it's like, we're humans. We get what we deserve.
We do. We often don't get what we want, but we do get what we deserve. Yes, that's very true. I also just want to say that Riley is a sulky little child.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh. I don't like him.
Yeah.
I'm not a giant fan of the actor, and I'm not a giant fan of the character.
So, I really like the actor and a lot of stuff that he's been in, but he is very, very good at being the bad guy. He's really good at being the good guy, don't get me wrong. Terminator 3, I think. But, like, he's just so quick to be like, nah, they don't fit in, let's kill them. Like, that's no way to run a cult, Riley.
Oh my God, that's going to be the new mic drop. That's no way to run a cult, Riley.
I need a t-shirt that says that now.
Oh my God, you totally need a t-shirt that says that. That's hilarious. I think your editor needs to get on that.
I also need a little bracelet, but I think it might be misinterpreted. I need a little bracelet that says WWVD. I know.
And who are we actually talking about?
What would Victor do?
Okay.
Because I love how
I didn't think it was Virginia, but
No. I love how Dakota was just like, oh, don't worry, she only got a hold of Victor. He won't do anything.
So that reminds me, and I don't know if I've ever told you the insight that I had about my death tattoo, but, it says you get what everybody gets, you get a lifetime. Mm-hmm. So the part where it says you get a lifetime is actually what shows just above my wrist. So lots of times that's the only thing that you see if you see any of my tattoos at all. And I realized fairly early on when I was working in the prison system that all inmates were seeing was you get a lifetime. Which I now think is really funny, but it was kind of, at the time I was like, that's not cool. That was like
Nurse Diane, and this is actually what my tattoo said.
Right. It's actually a tattoo of death. I was kind of surprised that Cole's people ended up being the bad people.
Yeah, and the unsavory types.
Right. Yes, that's what he said, the unsavory types. I've got it written down here. And then
especially with it being Alicia. Like,
right.
I know Cole kept trying to get her to join, but, like, how do you rob the daughter of the woman that saved your life?
Right.
Yeah.
I do think, because Teddy was talking about how weak people find it difficult to kill people that they know. When Alicia killed Cole, he was like, maybe that's where he saw the person that he wanted Alicia to be.
Good one.
Maybe that's the thing that made him. I mean, he all along he'd been like, Alicia, you're the person who's going to run my cult. You're the person. But maybe that was the thing that finally cemented it for him. I don't know.
I think so.
Okay, were you shocked to find out that the corpse was not Teddy's mother's corpse?
Yes, I was just going to mention.
Yeah.
Like, and the story, the real story is so much better, where, like, it really, really was, he was being all Norman Batesy. Like, his mom was being super critical of him, and so he murdered her and, buried her in the backyard. And then next year, all of these morning glories grew where and I was just like, oh my God. We're going to find out he puts on a dress and talks in his mom's voice.
Probably, because, well, I'm disappointed in Channing Powell, because she did write 3 of the episodes that I really loved from season 4, but apparently we needed to steal a little bit from Hitchcock, so.
Serial killers usually do have mom issues.
Yeah, and they run true to type, right?
Yeah. I mean, they at the very least, like, the majority of them have women issues, and a lot of it can be stemmed back to their mother.
Does that mean I'm going to be a serial killer? I don't have women issues, but I definitely have mommy issues.
No, you were very statistically unlikely to be a serial killer because you were a woman. I mean, what are the odds that there's 2 of us in the same family? Oh, crap! Nobody heard that.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Phil better be on it tonight. That's all I have to say. So I did write in my notes, seriously, Alicia gets held hostage by a psycho and a little girl.
They found a better bunker. Like, were they just not motivated to look before? Because they seem to stumble upon that one really easy.
Well, when your old bunker gets flooded with embalming fluid and lit on fire, you're kind of forced to do drastic things.
Like, and it's but it's better. It's not like it's way better than the holding was. Okay.
Right.
What are the odds that thing hasn't been, like, already taken over or pilfered? Like, okay.
It is Texas.
Okay. You're more apt to find a, like, wall safe, like a meat locker size wall safe with a ton of guns in it than you are a bunker.
My gosh, I just watched John Wick 3 last night, thinking of guns and Winston, I need more guns.
You and John Wick.
Well, I've had motivation to watch the John Wick movies, so now I'm caught up.
That's funny.
Well, I don't have anything else to say. I mean, I just hope the last 2 episodes are better.
They're hyping them up like they are.
I know, but that doesn't give me a whole heck of a lot of hope. I mean, we're talking about the guys who had the beer bottle balloon and the airplane brigade, so,
Well, and we are hanging all of our hopes on a dry docked or run aground submarine. So, yeah. The USS Pennsylvania.
Which is next episode. Yeah, so they'll probably do everything they can just to get us there and then, like, leave us with a nice big cliffhanger in the episode right after that.
Yeah.
Did the missile go off or no? Did it blow up or no? Was it a dud? We don't really know. We won't know until season 7. Sorry. Not sorry.
Not sorry. So yeah, the next episode looks like it's going to be on AMC Plus on June 3rd, which of course is a Thursday, which they've been doing. But the final episode for the season, the beginning, looks like it's not coming out until that Sunday. So looks like we might not get early access on AMC Plus for the season finale.
Okay. And they'll probably do a Walking or a Talking Dead, I would guess.
I think they did mention that they were going to, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are finally caught up on podcasting.
Now someone has to get caught up on editing.
And then we will get on the part 2 episode of The Real Housewives for Crime of the Century.
Yes.
And then...
Black Summer. Yeah. Black Summer!
Black Summer. But until then, everyone, just remember...
Take it one dead day at a time.
Have a good week, everybody.
Have a good week. Bye. Bye.